Mechanical mouse. The mechanical mouse was the original design, and if you ever used a computer before the mid-2000s, you probably remember the little rubber ball underneath. That ball would roll around as you moved your hand, spinning two small rollers inside, one for up and down, one for left and right. Those rollers were connected to sensors that translated the motion into cursor movement on screen. It worked, but not particularly well. Dust, hair, and desk crumbs would build up on the rollers constantly, which meant your cursor would start skipping or sticking. Anyone who used one of these remembers popping the ball out every so often just to clean the gunk off the wheels inside. Optical mouse. Optical mice replaced that rolling ball with a tiny LED light and a sensor. As you move the mouse, the LED shines onto the surface below, and the sensor takes thousands of tiny pictures every second, comparing them to figure out exactly which direction and how fast you moved. No moving parts touching the desk means no gunk buildup, and accuracy improved dramatically overnight. This is the technology that made the ball mouse obsolete almost as soon as it hit the market in the late 90s, and it's still the basis for most affordable mice sold today. Laser mouse. Laser mice work on the same basic principle as optical ones, just swapping the LED for a laser diode. That change lets the sensor pick up far finer detail on the surface underneath, which means laser mice can track movement on glossy or reflective surfaces that would completely confuse a regular optical sensor. They also tend to offer higher sensitivity, measured in dpi, so small hand movements translate into bigger cursor jumps. The trade-off is that laser mice can sometimes be too sensitive, picking up tiny surface imperfections that cause a subtle jitter, which is part of why plenty of gamers still prefer optical sensors instead. Trackball mouse. A trackball mouse flips the whole concept around. Instead of moving the entire device across your desk, you keep the mouse stationary and roll a ball with your thumb or fingers to move the cursor. This means you need way less desk space, which is a big reason people with limited desk room or certain wrist conditions gravitate toward them. It also puts less strain on your shoulder and forearm since your arm barely has to move at all. The trade-off is precision takes some getting used to, since you're relying on finger and thumb control rather than broader arm movement. Ergonomic and vertical mouse. Ergonomic mice are shaped to reduce strain on your wrist and forearm, and the most distinctive version is the vertical mouse, which you hold more like you're shaking someone's hand rather than resting your palm flat. That angle keeps your forearm in a more natural rotation instead of twisting it inward the way a flat mouse forces you to. People who deal with repetitive strain injuries or early carpal tunnel symptoms often switch to these first. And honestly, once you get used to the angle, going back to a flat mouse can feel oddly uncomfortable. Gaming mouse. Gaming mice take the optical or laser sensor and build an entire device around competitive performance. We're talking extremely high DPI settings that can be adjusted on the fly, programmable buttons for macros and quick commands, adjustable weights to fine-tune the feel in your hand, and polling rates that check your mouse's position hundreds or even thousands of times per second, so there's essentially zero lag between your hand and the cursor. Many also come with customizable RGB lighting, which, sure, doesn't affect performance, but it's become part of the identity of the whole category. Wireless and Bluetooth mouse. Wireless mice cut the cord entirely, connecting either through a small USB dongle using radio frequency or directly through Bluetooth. Dongle-based mice tend to have lower latency and a more reliable connection, which is why competitive gamers who go wireless usually pick that route over Bluetooth. Bluetooth mice, on the other hand, don't need a dongle at all, connecting straight to your laptop or desktop, which is handy when you're low on USB ports or just want fewer things plugged in. Battery life on most modern wireless mice easily stretches into weeks or months on a single charge. Air and Gyroscopic Mouse. Air mice, sometimes called gyroscopic mice, don't need a surface at all. Instead, they use an internal gyroscope and accelerometer to detect motion as you move your hand through the air, similar to how a game controller detects tilt. Point it at your screen and wave it around, and the cursor follows your hand movement directly. These are common with smart TVs and home theater setups where you're sitting on a couch with no desk in sight, letting you control a presentation or navigate a media center from across the room. That's every type of mouse explained. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe to TechXplainer for more.